Hello everybody, John Schwab back here again with another video, and I'm here to give you my official review for Arrow Season 4, Episode 4, titled Beyond Redemption. Now, of course, if you've not seen this episode, please go check it out, because this review may contain spoilers. But that being said, let's get all up in this redemption. Now, obviously, based off the title, there is no freaking excuse or undefending this. This is a Captain Lance Sarah episode. Now, obviously, Sarah is back based off last week's episode. Laurel, obviously, has brought her back into the real world, into the living world, and unfortunately there's major consequences with that. Sarah is indifferent. She is completely not the same as she used to be due to the Lazarus Pit effects, and of course it's up to her and hopefully her family, which is obviously consists of Lance, because her mom is, never a part of this show apparently, unless they have feelings that they need to have her in the show, whatever. Anyways, then you have the subplots with freaking Oliver trying to run for mayor, and then you have the other subplots of rogue police officers trying to take over the city, and then you have the other subplots of the island flashbacks that have apparently nothing to do with the real-time fucking flashbacks, so lots of crazy shit going down in this episode. And first off, I gotta say this out loud, and I have to be perfectly honest. I love this episode. Now, granted, coming from the dude who kind of bashes on Arrow on a weekly basis, justifiably, of course, I really liked this episode. I mean, usually the Arrow, in comparison to the Flash, is usually kind of like second fiddle, but lately they've been really upping up their game. Not, of course, to the fullest extent that they should, but they've really gotten better and better and better and better with this season, and especially with the last couple episodes in comparison to the Flash. If you've listened into my last Flash episode review today, I really didn't enjoy that episode, and it feels like the Flash has been dropping the ball, and I don't know if that's done on purpose, but Arrow has really been picking that shit up and really freaking going hard with it, which is really nice to see. There's a lot of really cool aspects about this episode that I really appreciate. Number one, Captain Lance. They really made him a really big, integral part of the plot line of this episode, and it was really, realistically, more his episode than anybody else's, which I think was well-deserved, because I feel like the actor who plays Captain Lance, or Detective Lance, or whatever the fuck, I feel like he never really gets a lot to do. I feel like the actor kind of gets the freaking bad part of the stick on, each end of any kind of season when it comes to Arrow, which is kind of a disservice, seeing as how the actor is actually a pretty good actor, and I feel like they just treat this character as a prick that doesn't really need to do anything or doesn't really deserve his own episodes. So I feel like it was really nice to give this episode to him, because it was something that really needed a lot of us fans to justify us caring about that character, because there's obviously a lot of shit going down. You have the police force that's going down, you have Damien Darhk who's controlling everything, you got freaking Sarah coming back to life, there's a whole, you got Laurel, creating new problems as always in true Laurel fucking fashion. I mean, kudos to her for finally saying something to her dad, but I'm just saying, man, I mean, Laura fucks up every fucking season. True? Isn't it true? Someone try to deny that. Anyways, lots of really cool stuff. And I have to just tip my hat to the writers. They fucking made a character that a lot of people really don't give a shit about, including myself, and really made us really care about. I mean, this episode is a defining moment for Captain Lance, and it is true indicator of Beyond Redemption, which is his character seeking redemption from not only Oliver, but from the people surrounding him, because he doesn't really know what he's doing. He's in a crossroads where he's he continues to go on this path with Damien Darhk, or he continues to go with another path that redeems the bad actions that have taken place in between seasons 3 and 4. So a lot of really cool stuff with him. On the flip side, you have, of course, a lot of really crazy stuff going down with Oliver. Oliver, of course, announces that he's going to run for mayor, which I think is an awesome subplot that I really didn't think I was going to like. I mean, excuse me. I was really hoping that, actually, I was really thinking that this subplot was going to suck. I feel like it was a ridiculous, idiotic kind of subplot. It's Oliver run for mayor. It's what kind of bullshit are you spilling here, CW? But the way they handled it was really nice. I think it was, and also it's a very, very comic booky kind of thing to do. And of course, realistically, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, every mayor who runs for mayor, or at least gets approved to be mayor in Star City or Starling City, whatever kind of city they want to call themselves. The interesting part about it is that they always end up getting killed or getting fucked over. The great thing about if Oliver becomes mayor, which more than likely will end up happening at some point this season, I'm pretty sure, and if not, maybe probably like next season or something. I think the cool thing about that is that no one can really take him down because he's secretly the Green Arrow. And of course, they also revealed the new Arrow Cave, which I think is super badass. I mean, like, I have to give it up to Felicity. I mean, usually her fucking crazy antics and her cheesy-assness can, like, be a little too much. But in this episode, it was, like, taken to 11, but in a good way. And that fucking lair was epic as shit. I mean, like, it's definitely my favorite lair that we've seen from Arrow, like, this entire time. I mean, like, it's better than the first one. It's better than the spare one that was introduced. It's better than the one they've been using for the season. And it's just so fucking badass. It's grand. It's big. We already knew that this was happening, that they were going to transition into a new cave or lair or whatever. They don't call it a cave, but we already know what it is. It's a fucking Batman show that's not called Batman. Let's fucking face facts. It's the Arrow Cave. But regardless of any of that, it was really badass and really cool. I like the haul of the suits. It's very Batman, Iron Man-esque, which is cool. I like the platforms. The lighting could have been a little cooler. I feel like the chandeliers were kind of stupid, but really cool. I like the color scheme of it was just a really badass cave. I think it's really awesome. And kudos to them for recreating something that really didn't need a recreation, but the fact that they did so and put actually legitimate money in it was just a major fucking awesome influence. But that being said, moving off that, lots of other really crazy stuff going down. You have, the Damien Dark stuff. You have the new villains that are apparently the police force of Star City that are also kind of go along with the themes of the episode, which is beyond redemption. The characters, obviously are seeking justice for the city that they've been serving so hard for, but of course things don't go right and they fucking just go rogue and they're all kind of different kind of things. If you've seen like Walking Dead season like 5 and you saw like those rogue police officers, think of it in those kind of terms, except not as gory to a certain extent. And also, no one really gets killed, which is kind of crazy. I mean, like, there's of course some kind of fatalities, but not to the extent that you would expect from Arrow. So kudos for them to really achieve some really awesomeness when it comes to all that kind of crazy stuff. And on top of that, freaking Curtis fucking killing the game, fucking trying to get Felicity to be like, hey, the Atom, there's something crazy going down. Because we already know Ray Palmer's not really dead. And I really have to say, fuck yes. Awesome. Kudos to you. Thank you, sir, to fucking CW. Because one of the coolest things that they've done in this episode alone, that they kind of introduced last week, they killed it with this. And that has a lot to do with the fact that Ray Palmer is still alive and the fact that he's trying to get connected with Felicity and tell her that he is still alive. Now, of course, they haven't flat out said it. There's still a lot of things that go along with the season that leads into Legends Tomorrow, which is the mid-season stuff, which we'll get into later. However, I just think it was really badass because all throughout the episode you have a whole bunch of stuff where it's like there's a lot of sketchy things going on with the technology, and like Felicity keeps like putting it off where it's like, oh, it's just the kinks in the new no, that's not shit. Cisco knows how to make some shit. I mean, like, illogically, I don't really know how he can make all that shit in like in his free time, but whatever. But if he's gonna make something that's shit, I find that just very doubtful. So of course it has to be Ray Palmer. Ray Palmer's trying to get back into connection with Felicity, tell her that, hey, he's fucking tiny. He's not fucking dead, he's just tiny. And then it just opens up this entire, like, subplot where it's like, what is Adam Ray Palmer doing that he's so tiny right now? We already know he's trying to, communicate with Felicity. However, we don't know the full, kind of storylines that he's doing. I want that to be, its own spin-off. Make it, CW, do that in the CW seed or whatever. Make it, a little tiny cartoon of that. I want to see, in the entire season of Season 4 of Arrow, this is what Ray Palmer's been doing. It's, him, trying to, run to, the bathroom or to the office or something, or try out of the building, or, just the adventures of, such a tiny little guy trying to survive in, a fucking office room. It's just hilariously stupid, And I think, like, for a platform like the CW Seed, I think it would just work perfectly. But that's just me. But overall, this episode was really good. I actually really enjoyed it. If there's anything that I can really nitpick that I really just did not like or enjoy in this episode, I guess has to be the fighting. I mean, like, I know that's kind of saying a lot. I mean, Arrow, like, really defines, like, TV fights. I mean, like, I guess Daredevil kind of broke the rules when it came to that, where they fucking dominated that fucking platform. However, usually Arrow has some really epic, badass, stunts and fights. However, in this episode, they were just done terribly. They were just undefendably bad. I just did not like the fights in this episode. I mean, like, every single fight, there's like 3 major fights in this freaking episode, and all of them get beaten so easily, and the bad guys get away so quickly and easily that it's almost like, are you sure you're superheroes? Because I feel like you're, like, rookies at this point. Because, I mean, like, I know you're, like, newly the Green Arrow, but come on, Oliver. You've been doing this longer than everybody, but you're just going to let them, like, drive away? And they weren't even driving away that fast. They were, like, at, 5 miles an hour or some such shit? Come on. But overall, that was pretty much the major thing I didn't really like. I just feel like it's Arrow. Kick it up a notch. Do some badass fights. I mean, like, you got some great fight choreographers. Do some crazy shit. I want to see something cool. And all the fights were terrible. I mean, like, Laurel's fights were shit. Oliver's fight was shit. Like, Thea's fight was shit. Diggle, he was there doing something, I guess. It was just suckish. It was just major suckage when it comes to the fights. And another thing I can really, pull out of my ass and just, like, how much nitpicky I can get that I just did not enjoy in this fucking episode, I guess has to be the Sarah stuff. I mean, I really enjoyed the Captain Lance stuff. However, I just didn't like how they treated Katie Lotz in this episode. I'm a huge fan of Katie Lotz, and she was one of the many big reasons as to why I got into Arrow. And the fact that they've kind of been mistreating her so far in the last couple episodes have just been really bothersome. I'm just saying, like, she fucking was dead and she got brought back to life. I understand that. However, why are they treating her like she's fucking Chappie? She's not Chappie. She's the fucking original. She's the fucking, the true one and only kind of black. She's the Black Canary, bitch. Don't fucking get this shit twisted. Don't be fucking treating her like she's fucking she has the body of like a beautiful like 23-year-old or some said shit, but she has the brain of like a 5-year-old. Don't give me that shit. I don't need to hear that shit. Oh, I need to teach you English. I need to teach you how to write again. Colors. Crayon. Fuck you. I don't need that shit. This ain't Chappie. That's not some shitty, crappy-ass robot movie. This is a fucking Arrow TV show on the CW. I don't fucking need that kind of crap. I mean, granted, I know she's been dead for over a year, but come on. I feel like they could have, used her better. And, of course, it would have been nice to have Katie Lotz say something other than, like, caveman speak. Like, Come on. I mean, she's better than that. You're better than that. You could do something. That was just another nitpicky thing. But overall, besides those 2 major aspects of the show, which is the fighting, the choreography of the fights, just the overall conception and execution of the fights, and of course the Sarah stuff, everything else was very solid and awesome. The performances were pretty good. Felicity's jokes were good, I guess. Oliver running for mayor was awesome. I mean, like, he has, like, the best speeches. I mean, like, the speeches he has with Lance, and the speeches he has with the fucking city, talking about running for mayor, how it's just like, I always had respect for you, but now I don't. You lost my respect today. I mean, like, yes, it was kind of cheesy. I mean, it's a fucking CW. What do you expect? But overall, really good stuff. Really awesome, epic, cool stuff. I enjoyed this episode. I really did. And I have to give it a solid 8 out of 10. It was a good, solid episode. Granted, there were some things I would have liked more, and of course, I wish they could have went all the way with Oliver and Lance. I wish, like hell, they should have had, like, a fight scene or something, or like, I wish their dialogue together would have went a little longer. But overall, all the stuff in this episode was really good, and definitely one of my favorite episodes so far this season. And there's just, like, a few, like I mentioned, just a tiny little few things that I just didn't like. But overall, a solid episode. Let me know what you personally think in the comment section below. What did you think about this episode? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What do you think about the Lance section? Oliver running for mayor, Ray Palmer trying to connect with Felicity, all this kind of real crazy epic stuff. And just final verdict is an 8 out of 10 for me, but let me know what you personally think. And of course, next week fucking the week of weeks, fucking Constantine coming to town. Fuck yes. Fuck yes. Fuck and yes. I want that shit to happen now. I mean, oh god, I cannot wait for next week's episode. I mean, I'm just saying, next week's episode is the reason I'm even watching season 4 of Arrow. I know how fucked up that kind of sounds, especially coming from a hardcore DC superhero fan, but superhero TV fan, but I'm just saying, like, that was really the main reason as to why I'm even watching season 4, and it's finally happening. Constantine is coming to town, he's helping out Arrow, he has his jokes, he's fucking Matt Ryan is back, they didn't recast, which is freaking awesome. Shit is gonna go down, I can't wait for that shit to go down. So let me know your personal speculations, predictions for their future episodes of the season, and of course how Constantine's gonna factor into this whole series and universe. Let me know in the comment section below. But that being said, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at JoshK12, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and this has been JoshK12.